A new lawsuit has been filed against John Paul Miller and Reginald Wayne Miller, his father, alleging SA abuse, and let's talk about it. Jane Doe number 1 has filed paperwork, a civil lawsuit against John Paul Miller, stating that he raped her at the age of just 15 years old. She says that she goes to Myrtle Beach at that time, way back in 1998, for her grandparents. They retired and moved there, and she would go there and spend the summers with her grandparents and then go to the church. Now, she states that during the summer of 1998, John Paul Miller allegedly forced her into his father, Reginald Wayne Miller's office after he inappropriately, then he forced her out to his truck where he raped her. This in accordance with the information on the lawsuit filed by Jane Doe number 1, who now lives in the state of Indiana. She says that she was traumatized and she has repressed the memory. And the repression of the memory was re-triggered in 2023 when John Paul Miller assaulted her again. Now, she states in this lawsuit released here, as you can see, that in 2023 she was with a friend when she saw John Paul Miller again. When they went to hug, he forced his hand into her pants, and you know what happened next. So after this assault in 2023, she remembers the memory is re-triggered from that incident in 1998. And she feels now it's time to come forward and step up for all victims of John Paul Miller. The lawsuit goes on to state that the church failed to protect her or other minors from the wraths of John Paul Miller and Reginald Wayne Miller as well, and that they used the church as a hunting ground, quote unquote, for females. The evidence that she has at the moment is witness testimony from people who say that John Paul Miller admitted to them to abusing minors. She also has sworn affidavits from John Paul Miller's ex-wife and others who say that John Paul Miller and Reginald Wayne Miller are both abusive. And she has evidence that the church ignored the claims to allow the abuse to continue, stating maybe even a little bit of police preference. Now, what's interesting is that there is a civil lawsuit here for both of those charges, both of those allegations, rather, in 1998 and then again in 2023. But could criminal charges come forth for the incident in 2023? Here's the rules. As of February 2025, South Carolina has implemented several significant changes, including the statute of limitations. So before, where it was 3 years, now it's 8 years. And now they can file up until their age 59 years old for an alleged incident. And they also stop the clock. When they see that you have repressed the memory and you don't remember until 2023, well, those 25 years aren't counted toward the statute of limitations. Keep that in mind. If the state of South Carolina decides to bring forth charges against John Paul Miller, what are we talking about? Well, first degree SA in section 16-3-652 involves SA battery with aggravated force or when the victim is incapacitated, okay? Second degree involves SA battery with the use of force or coercion without aggravating circumstances. And third degree involves SA where the perpetrator knows the victim is mentally defective and so on. So in this case, it could be charged under second degree. It could be charged under second degree, and he could receive up to 20 years in prison. So what will happen next? Will more Jane Does come forward? Is this the first of many lawsuits against John Paul Miller in regards to alleged abuse of minors? I'll be keeping you updated on all the latest, so make sure you bookmark this so you can find your way back.